people, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Alondra and this is WhimsyDesigns. In today's episode we are going to be making a crochet hat as a Christmas present. I am going to be doing a little bit of a two-tone situation so that the actual top part of the hat is a light brown, and then the brim of the hat that you can flip up is going to be a darker brown, and it is going to be a beanie style for my cousin who is a boy. So if you are looking for, this really is a gender neutral present, but if you're wondering what do I get the men in my life, this could be a project for you to make and gift. So I've already started it. I'll catch y'all up to speed and then we will just continue making it. I hope that you enjoy. So this is how far I've gotten. I am following a pattern and I will leave the link in the description down below. I am doing about 42 rows tall. I initially chained 40. Yeah, I initially chained 40 and I'm going to add on my secondary color of this to the base of it, and that's what I said was going to be the brim color. So it'll be like this, and that will be another 10, and that will total about 50 chains in total. I have gotten this far, which is probably about halfway, and this is either a worsted weight or maybe some type of wool, maybe a wool blend, because it does have a lot of pilling on it, but it's just this yarn. I don't know. It's probably one of my thrifted yarns, honestly. And I am using a 6.5 millimeter hook. I would say probably around a 5.5 might be more appropriate for the weight of this yarn, which is about a medium weight, as you can see. But I wanted to work this up quickly, which is why I'm using a larger hook. And we are about halfway through, and I'm just gonna keep going until we get to 42 rows, and then I will work on adding in the second color. This is the completed 42 rows, and it measures approximately 13.5 inches. I've taken my second color, chained 11, and then I'm going to do another 42 rows of the half double crochet, and then we will attach it to one side, and then we'll flip this over, bring it together, bring together the top, and the hat will be done. Yarn over, 2 away from the hook, insert, pull through, and now there's 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Again, yarn over, insert through the loop, pull through. Now there's 3 on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. We're just going to repeat this. This is row number 1. So now that we have 10, the next row is going to be a little different. So we chained 1, turned our work, pull that over, and then we're only going through the back loop. So there's the little V. The back loop is the loop that's away from you. So this loop right here, this one is closest to me, this one is away from me, I'm going into that back loop, pulling through, pull through all 3 in a seam, bring it over through the back loop, pull through all 3, back loop only, doing this makes the ribbed effect. So how this has hills and valleys, that is because we went through the back loop, and that gives this texture. The last one sometimes is on the side, so you might forget it, but just keep looking for the V. As long as you see a V, that's what you should go into. And you can also just keep track of your count. Make sure that you have 10. Go into the last one. Pull through all 3. Chain 1 and turn your work. We're just going to repeat this 42 rows to meet the same length as our main color. So we're going to go as long as this. Okay, so as you can see, I am done with the darker brown strip. I did 41 rows instead of 42 just because it was longer than the base color. So I have tied off the end, but I left my main string still on the spool of yarn. So I'm just going to do a either, I think it's just a slip stitch to join these 2 pieces together here, and then come through in this first gap. And when we're joining these, it's really not very calculated, it's just making sure that you connect wherever you see an opening. And pull through. And then finish that with just a single crochet. Here's my next opening. Pull through. And I'm just going to continue this all the way down until we get to the other end. And I think this is a single crochet. I don't think this is called a slip stitch. But as you can see on the other end, it's kind of a pretty seamless connection between the two. And on this side is where all the busy work is. Okay, so I got to the point where I now have more light brown than dark brown. This is because I cut the rows of the brown short. But I do see it's kind of raised here and here. I think those are areas I could have stretched it a little bit more. So nothing's ever perfect, but, and I guess the 42 rows, having that extra row right there actually would have made a difference. Crocheting is such an interesting experience. I'm just going to undo a little bit to allow for the stretch. I'm just gonna, oh, by the way, I sized down hooks in order to connect these two. So I was using a 6.5 to actually make these 2 pieces, but I'm using a 6 to combine them, just so it's not as bulky. But right now, this is becoming my stitch marker to hold these in place. So now we can see this is the single crochet with these two pieces together. This is how it looks on the reverse. So it's pretty seamless, which is great. And so then the hat will be closed up on its side. So it will look something like this. The hat will be gathered right up top. This is how it looks from this side. And there's still a little bit of give. So I think this is okay. So I am going to weave in the ends and then do the needle around the top to join, and this hat will be done. Hey there, so it's a new day, a new hat. I have already started it. This is going to be a black and gray striped. I am going to follow a similar pattern to the brown hat. So I've got 50 rows or 50 chains, and I'm going to do 42 rows. I might do, no, I think 42 should be fine. I am using the half double crochet stitch, and once again, it's giving that ribbed effect here, as you can see. So I did 4 rows, and then I switched the stitch to a true double crochet, and I did 2 rows of the gray, and I realized I want a thicker chunk of the black and a thinner chunk of the gray. So here I did 4, then I did 5 rows of the black. I think I might do 1 more row of black before switching over to gray. And once again, I'm using the 6.5 millimeter hook. I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and then do another row of the half double crochets. I will put the picture up on the screen of the hat that inspired this. I did try to follow the pattern, however, it is at the intermediate level, and there were many new techniques and verbiage I was going to have to learn, and I just don't have that time to learn it right now. So I will still link it below for anyone who is at that intermediate level looking for something new. However, I am at the beginner level, and so I will be doing what I know. We have reached the end of our row, and this is how we're looking so far. What I did on this side was I tried to feed my cord that I attached through, and now it's made this weird lump. We're going to do something different this time. So that does mean that there will be more threads to weave in at the end, but it'll be a cleaner finish, which is what I ultimately would prefer. So I am going to grab my new color, which is the gray, and I am just going to pull that through, and then I'm just going to make 1 chain, and then I'm going to make 2, because now we're going into the double crochet. I'm going to turn my work, yarn over into the back loop of the first, and then we yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again, and that's a double crochet. Yarn over into the back loop, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again. Gonna do 1 more, yarn over into the back loop, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Gonna just pause here, and I am going to cut my black cord that I was just working with let's say about 3 inches. And then where my 2 cords meet, I'm just gonna make a little knot, and I'm gonna make it a double knot. Okay. And so now that is just so that these cords don't go anywhere. This is where we joined. And then at the end, I'll be weaving in these guys. And any time from here on out that I switch colors, this is what I'm going to do. And we're going to continue doing a double crochet to the end, chain 2, double crochet to the other end, and then we will switch, and then we'll switch colors there. Hello, it's a new day and we are coming to the end of our hat projects. So what I'm doing with my black and gray black and gray hat right now is just closing up the 2 pieces. So this one, I stopped recording after a while because I really did not know where I was going with this. I learned that with my initial brown hat, it really did a tube thing. Let me show you. So, I mean, most beanies do look like this. However, when I tested it on my boyfriend's head, it basically fit his head up to here and filled it out, and then the rest was literally just sticking like straight up. So that made me really nervous for this hat because I do not want that to do the same. I wanted it to be able to like do that thing, you know, the little slouchy thing that hats do. So I tried a couple different methods to change up the pattern. I ended up just going back to exactly what I've been doing, which is the 3 rows of black into the back loop with a half double crochet, and then 2 rows of the gray with a double crochet. And I ended up doing a total of, 44, 46. I think I did 46 rows, if I'm counting correctly. I kept trying it for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't have an explanation. Maybe it's because I kept changing between the half double crochet and the double crochet, but this just did not stretch across my head or my boyfriend's head when it was the 42 like this one is. So I'm not quite sure what's up with that. But also with the 42, this is feeling pretty tight. Yeah, I guess I'll finish talking about this hat really quickly. So because I added in this new color this way, it does give you a stopping point as to how far you can stretch the hat. And my cousin does have a larger skull like I do, so I am going to have to take this out, basically undo the stitch that attaches these 2 colors together, and then I honestly have not figured out how to troubleshoot this problem, which is why it's been off to the side. But I am going to have to figure out how to troubleshoot this. For my boyfriend, he loves how tight it is. So like if you are someone who really likes a nice tight cap, this is the 42 with the little changing up the pattern at the end. That'll do it. But what I might ultimately end up doing is just taking out this 2-tone part altogether, and it'll just be a shorter hat, and it'll probably just look like a knit cap, so it'll look something more like a true beanie. Little baby. But it will allow it to stretch further, which is the goal. If anything, I might undo the stitch that basically attach the 2 panels together and add in a couple more rows. But if you like really tight and you're okay with it being like straight up, this is fine. Otherwise, adjustments need to be made to that pattern. And this one, since I basically have made my own pattern for this one, you could follow the words that I'm saying, or you could do whatever you want. Christmas Eve is tomorrow, so I have to finish these hats now. So I guess join me while I just finish up sealing up this hat, and then, like I said, there were going to be a lot of little strands to weave in. I mean, if you're feeling lazy, you can just tie off some knots and maybe just like weave in like only a couple times and then just cut it, or just tie off certain areas like where 2 colors can just tie knots, tie like a double triple knot, and then just cut it. It's really up to you. I know it's not, I know it's kind of frowned upon when it comes to crochet and knitting, but Hey, do you, boo-boo. If you're on a time crunch like me, I'm gonna swoop, 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 because I don't have time to be as cautious and careful as I was with this. Like, this is really seamless. Like, I did such a good job, and for it to not be big enough, if my brother and my cousin weren't so different in color schemes, I would just switch the hats, because this is clearly going to be for a bigger head, and this will be for a smaller head. My brother has a smaller head, so this would probably fit him just fine, but he also has a lot of hair, so I wanted to make room for his hair. So, you would think that I'm making a tailored suit for these boys, but no, I'm freaking making a hat. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to this. I hope that you enjoy the rest of this video. I hope that you have enjoyed, even though this is a hot mess. I hope that it was at least for your entertainment, if it wasn't for learning purposes. So don't forget to subscribe, give that video a like, and we are going to finish this up real quick, fast, and in a hurry. Like